Hi friends, so I want to do a review of all these items that I use to try and help me heal a scar from post-surgery. And so you can try any of these for either scars from tattoos, ear piercings, or any kind of body piercings, as well as post-surgical scars or any other scarring from wounds and injuries. I was on the quest to try out several different options because I had a procedure that left me with a scar this long. And I want to thank some of these brands for sending me these products to test out and provide my honest review. So you can see here I have a bunch of different items, and I'm going to start with the silicone gels first. And I have two different bottles here. One is Advanced Silicone Scar Gel, and this one is from Rivlane, also silicone scar gel. So I'm going to start with this one first. I like this one a lot because it smells really great and it spreads easily. So what I have drawn on here is where you would normally apply the gel for the scar. So I'm going to pump on this bottle right here, and you can see, if you want to see close up here, this is the gel, and it's a rather thin liquid, but it's not super sticky. But it feels really good and spreads very easily, and it smells amazing, and it's very cooling, and it'll probably dry in about 15 seconds or so, 15 to 20 seconds. I like to let it make sure it dries really well before I put any clothing over it, but it smells amazing, and it's really soothing on the scar. This other one here by Rivlane is a little bit thicker, so if I put it on here, you're going to see here, let's see. You can tell it's a thicker gel, and so it looks a little bit cloudier. So it's like a white, let's see if you can see it better here. It's like a white cloudy gel, and you can spread it. It also spreads easily, but because it is thicker, it'll take a little longer to dry. And this one has absolutely no scent at all, so there's no fragrance or anything like that. So if you prefer not to have fragrance, this one works well, and it's thicker. It just takes longer to dry. I like this one because it smells great and it's thinner. It spreads more easily and dries faster, but it is thinner and a little bit more runny, so you just got to make sure that you're not letting it run off the scar. So those are the silicone gels. And here you can see that I squeeze a little bit from each one. The corresponding bottles in the back, so you compare their thickness. And next we have this combination kit by Murasaki. It's called Keloid Bump Removal Oil and Gel Kit. And I love this because I have a tendency to form keloids from scarring. And so I'm so thankful to Murasaki for sending these to me. And this is a great kit because it comes with this oil that has a lot of healing oils like jojoba, a lot of fruit oils, natural seed oils, at least 4 or 5 different types of oils. So you would apply it first to the scar. It really smells great too. It's very aromatic. So you see here where I drew the scar, you would apply a few drops onto the scar and then spread it. It smells amazing. And what it does is kind of takes down the irritation because your scar gets really angry feeling, especially towards the beginning when it's still really just kind of irritated. So this helps to soothe it down. And then I will wait for it to dry a little bit. I don't have to wait too long for it to dry totally. And then I apply the Keloid Bump solution or gel. And this one is a whiter gel that comes, as you can see, this is what it looks like. And then I would just apply it onto the so I'll let you see here, it's like a white silicone gel. So this one also spreads very easily. And now it feels a little unusual to be spreading it over oil, but the two will mix together nicely. And then it forms this healing barrier that is just amazing. And your skin feels really calm afterwards. Next, I'm going to talk about these massage bulbs, and there are 2 different sizes here. You can tell one has a wider or bigger circumference, and this one has a smaller one. Depending on the size of your scar, you want to either use the bigger one or the smaller one. These work really well with the oil that I just applied because it helps to kind of give it that smooth texture. And so if you have a smaller scar, you would just squeeze it and then suck. You see how it's sucking up the skin, and then slowly go down and then release it. The other way you can do it too is, you would just go to each part of the scar, pull it, release, and then keep going down, pull it, release, and keep going down again, all the way down the entire length of the scar. And I would do this once a day for a week and let it rest a little bit and then do it again after a couple days. This works really well to kind of loosen up any scar tissue. Because I have a bigger incision on my abdomen, I'll use a slightly bigger bulb, but it works the same way. You would squeeze it, press it down, and see how the skin is sucked into the bulb because it creates a vacuum. And then just go along the length of the scar, and then you can squeeze it to release the suction. Again, you can also do it a little bit at a time when you pull it loose. And this helps, again, to break up any scar tissue that may be forming underneath the surface. So these work really great to help massage the scar, provide an increased circulation, to promote healing, and they feel really good. Now, you don't want to squeeze it too hard to injure any skin, but you also want to make sure that you've healed properly before you start using these, because you want to wait a little bit longer before you start using these massage bulbs. And finally, there's a silicone tape. You would not use this together with the gel. You would use one or the other. I tend to rotate them so that I'm using this at night and then this during the day. Or if you prefer, you can use this during the day and this at night. Sometimes because of certain scars that are more visible, like on your face, you may not want to use a tape, then this works perfectly for that. I like to use the tape because I want to make sure that I'm constantly keeping the area covered and providing that silicone absorption and to try and maximize healing. If you read the box and the instructions, when you first start using these silicone tapes, you want to slowly titrate the time. So you start with maybe a couple of hours the first day, and then you gradually increase based on the directions on the box. And the way you use these, and I like the roll tape better than the ones that are already cut out, because then I can determine the exact length that I need. And so because my scar is about this long, I'm going to cut however much I need. Okay, and then it peels off very easily, like that. And then I'll place it over my scar and keep it covered for, because I've been using it for a while now, I'll keep it covered overnight. What I love about these as well is that you can wash them and reuse them. Let's say after a week, they start to kind of, pick up some lint or dirt. You can just run them under water. I use a little bit of hand soap just to wash off any dirt that has accumulated on it. I'll set it on the countertop or the sink top, and it'll dry in a few hours, and then I can reuse it again the next day. I will wash and reuse a tape maybe for about a month. Actually, I get a pretty good use out of them because I, don't really do much. I'm not like sweating a lot or doing a lot of heavy workouts. So these are great. Now there are a couple of different types of tapes. This one is the Gao Gao tape. It is a little bit thicker than the other brand. So because it is thicker, it doesn't seem to take the shape or form very well, especially if you have bends or areas that you need to have more movement. But because it is thicker, it stays on better, and it does last a little longer. I have here the DFK silicone tape, and it is almost identical to the Gao Gao one, with a slight difference in that it is a little bit thinner. And you see on the box here some of the uses that you can use it for. And so, as I mentioned, this one is just very slightly thinner than the Gao Gao one, but it's also a roll tape, which I love because I can adjust the length however I like it to be. And because it is a little bit thinner, it does take the shape or the form of your skin better, so that, if you have a bend or an angle that you need to conform to, that will work better. Now, because it is thinner, it may not last as long, and the edges tend to kind of roll up after a while. So usually for these, I probably won't use them more than 2-3 weeks at a time. But they do adhere very well, and that's a reason why I do like them a lot. And on the back of the box, both this one and the Gao Gao have a table that tells you how long to leave the tape on for. So if you're just starting out, you only leave it on for a few hours, and then further on, a few months later, you can leave it on for longer periods of time. And here I'm just going to show you how I remove it, and then very easily run it under some water, a little bit of soap, and I have it cleaned and just set it aside ready to use after it dries. So there's a lot of different options you have. Here again, you have the silicone gels that you can apply, and then you have the silicone tape, and then this combination oil that helps promote healing, as well as a silicone gel. And then finally, these massage balls to help increase circulation. And you can use this with either the gel or the oils to help to massage the scar afterwards and increase circulation and promote healing. So lots of choices here. I hope you check them out, and happy healing.